And so you went to undergraduate. Where did you go to undergraduate school at?
I went in Diablo Valley College, and I finished up at Regents College up in upstate New York, and I went to chiropractic college at Palmer West in California.
You know, it's interesting. I went to Ottawa University for my undergraduate, and then Cleveland Chiropractic in Kansas City for chiropractic. And you know, I had a small time where I went in the Marine Corps and I got a medical discharge. But I always thought about, you know, this chiropractic college or any professional school. It's kind of like recruit training where they're seeing what you're made of. How bad do you want it? You know, you got to persevere to get to the good stuff. And so when did you graduate chiropractic college?
Almost don't want to say 1985. 1985.
Okay, so 1985 now. So you're in your prime of your life. And can you still do push-ups and pull-ups?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
We had Parker Fit. We have a Parker Fit competition every year to find out who's the most fit person in chiropractic. So you should come out to it. And for that I did 21 pull-ups there. I was supposed to do 20. I wasn't counting. But yeah, I can still crank out the push-ups, pull-ups, push-ups, and I like to lift heavy weights too.
Oh, excellent. Well, you know, that part of health is very important to have, you know, resistive training, cardio, all those things are very important. And, you know, you're smart by, a lot of people think they get out of shape and then they try to get back in. And as every decade goes by, it gets harder and harder. So it's like you keep at it, keep at it, keep at it. Now, in 1998, you you were the first chiropractic practice at the Naval Medical Center, is that correct?
Yeah, they were just starting the Department of Defense's chiropractic benefit. So the Navy had a different philosophy of how they hired. They went not for the lowest bidder, but who's the best qualified. And at that point, I had my 14 years of military experience. I had been involved in credentialed at 2 hospitals. So they needed to start the first chiropractic clinic at a tertiary care hospital. So looking around, they had, well, here's a Navy vet, understands the system, and he's already set up chiropractic clinics in 2 hospitals in California.
Wow. See, that's perfect timing, and it's like a divine intervention with everything you went through, because that's one of the things where chiropractic is relatively, it's newer to a lot of people, but they're finding it so effective, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But it's helping veterans,
Really?
and it's helping active duty. So, what did you find in that experience that was beneficial? What were the veterans saying, or what were the active duty personnel saying?
When we got there, when we got there, it was, what do you do with a chiropractor?
Yeah.
And initially, I would see retirees, dependents. They would send babies to me. And it was a pretty bustling practice. And once you start making some headway with that, you just start getting more and more people referred to you, until we had like a 6-week wait to get in as a new patient. And, and I also would take care of members of the Bethesda Naval Hospital. Also takes care of the leaders of our country. We've had Prince Harry come by our clinic, who's getting married tomorrow. We've had Princess Di, who's been to our hospital. The world's leaders come to that hospital when they need care, but also our nation's leaders. It's a president's hospital. So the Navy maintains clinics in the White House and the Capitol. I had a clinic in the Capitol for 16 years, where I had an office that was, twice a week. When they were in session, I would take care of members of Congress. And the White House, I was the president's chiropractor. So I traveled with presidents. I've gone to the White House and treated the occupants of the White House. And so that's some other things that I've done. But when the war broke out, and we started seeing, my practice at the hospital would be, for tertiary care, I should say for Bethesda would be, it's where from around the world, the people weren't getting any better. They would work to a tertiary hospital, our hospital. So we had them coming from all over the place. So I'd get the complicated spine conditions, a lot of lumbar disc, found quite a few spinal cord tumors, post-surgical folks. So seeing a lot of complicated cases, inpatient. inpatient psychology patients, which was very interesting, psychiatry patients rather. But also, when the war broke out, we started seeing war wounded. And I can say with a great deal of confidence that I've treated more amputees than any other chiropractor in the world. We had 1,800 of them come through our hospital.
Wow.
During the war. And I saw some very severe injuries. We were working on people inpatient and outpatient. And at Walter Reed, when Bethesda eventually became a bigger hospital, when Walter Reed and Bethesda joined forces, it became a mega hospital where they put about $2.5 billion in additions to our hospital.
Wow.
So a lot of complicated neurological conditions, a lot of war wounded. And we had a pediatric oncologist there. And the pediatric oncologist would volunteer his vacation days to go to a summer camp for healthy kids because he needed to know that not every child was dying. So my wife was a volunteer, Red Cross volunteer at the hospital too. We started taking care of the Naval Academy football team as volunteers because not because we needed more work, is we needed to know that it got to be a point where you have severely wounded folks come to your clinic. It can get you down a little bit. So after hours, we'd go take care of the football team for Annapolis, and just to be uplifting. It's the optimism of the team, the health of that team, the vigor. It was good for us.
Now, one thing about that is you have a claim to fame, or there's a coincidence that once the Naval Academy had a chiropractor on their football team. What happened to the record of the football team?
I never saw the team lose to Army. And all the games I worked, every Army Navy game we won. And they sent there was a American Chiropractic Journal had an article about me. It said the Navy's secret weapon.
I remember that.
And a picture of me with Admiral Mullen, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs. Somebody sent that to the coach for Army, and he started interviewing chiropractors that day.
And so, do they have one now?
They have one. So I'm no longer taking care of the Navy, and the Army has a chiropractor. So we went for 13 years in a row. Now the Army has had a chiropractor. They won. It's the first time they've won in 13 years. They had a chiropractor. We didn't.
See, some people would say, "Oh, that must be coincidence," but the research shows. See, I first was exposed to you or heard you speak in 2000 when I started chiropractic college in January 2000, and I decided to get involved in the profession. I went to NCLC, the national conference, and I heard you speak. And first thing I thought, I'm like, God, I hope I had hair at that time. Okay, that was before I finished school, so I was just starting out, but I wanted to make a difference. And I listened to you, and I'm like, man, that guy he's a hard worker. He's made these inroads, and you're a mentor to many, and you've been carrying on the torch for a lot of people in chiropractic, and so it's been really cool. I've read your articles you've put out, and so you've done quite a bit to expose people, the general public, to knowledge of a healthcare that's truly about health. And so I'm glad you brought up about the Naval Academy, because if you're a professional athlete watching this, or you have a child that's in athletics, how essential is chiropractic for those athletes?
As a question, by the way, thank you for those kind words. It's very important. The Naval Academy, I kind of teased that we beat Army all those years, but we really helped their injury rates. And would have 30 or 40 midshipmen line up before a game, and during the week we would treat a lot of them. It's invaluable, especially if they're putting that much strain in their body. They need the adjustments. They need to have myofascial work done. And I did a lot of extremity adjusting as well. People with herniated disc, we were able to manage them without drugs, surgery, or the dreaded epidural injection, which I have a great disdain for. But yes, so it's for everybody should see a chiropractor. I get adjusted every week, and of course I'm married to a chiropractor and have access to it. The world's largest chiropractic clinic, which is across the street from the building I'm in right now.
And see, that's really good, because again, most people don't know about it. They think, oh, I have this health condition, and it becomes part of them, or they think they have to live with it. And if what you're doing. If you're watching this and you're like, you have a health condition and the treatment you're getting is not working, try something different. And usually it's like when someone's come to me and they're like, I've tried, medicine, physical therapy, all these different things, and good treatments, and they haven't gotten better. I'm like, good news is you're most likely a chiropractic case, and they get better. So that's a good thing.